Using an Apple II is very easy. The only hard part is getting your kid away from it. You see, Apples are the leading computers in schools, so even though you bought it to help you work at home, your kid will want to use it for his own homework. Of course, if all else fails, there's one last thing you can try. Get him an Apple of his own.
Servus and welcome back to another episode here on my channel. This is a Toshiba Tecra 530 CDT from 1997. Its specifications contain among a Pentium 1 166 MMX processor, 64 megabytes, yes, megabytes of EDO RAM and a 12-inch active matrix display. I think most people wouldn't argue that this old road warrior here is indeed a retro computer. But can a new laptop also be a retro computer, and what means retro anyways? Let's find out. This is my new frame.work laptop, and I think it is indeed a retro computer. In some kind of way. But let me explain, and therefore we have to answer another question first. What means retro anyways?
The Commodore 64 home computer has an unusually large memory. Remember? It also has all the peripherals you're ever likely to need. Monitors, plotters, printers, disk drives, and a vast range of software. Which means you'll get so much more enjoyment out of your home computer. The Commodore 64. Remember the enormous memory, but don't forget the peripherals and software.
Some would say it means that a computer or a machine is old. They often link some kind of nostalgia to it. Others would say it's all about the look. A certain machine looks like a product from the past. For example, this C64 Maxi here looks exactly the same like the original one back from 1982. Let's find out what Wikipedia has to say about the definition of retro. Wikipedia says, the term retro in many areas specifically refers to phenomena linked to older traditions or characteristics. That's what Wikipedia has to say about retro. Okay, so there is not the one and only retro, there are many kinds of retro? Who would have thought that? And that's where my approach to retro comes into play. The characteristics, repairability and upgradability. These two characteristics are in some way essential for me if something is indeed retro or not. Take the Toshiba here. If the battery fails, you change and repair it. If your CD drive fails, you change and repair it. If you want more RAM or a bigger hard drive, you upgrade it. Or another example, the Amiga 500. For many out there, the retro machine par excellence. And if one of your precious custom chips fail, you change them. If you want more speed, you put an accelerator in it. So you can do things by yourself. And there is the framework again. In fact, this computer is completely user upgradable and repairable. And no, this video is not sponsored by anyone, it's just my personal view. In fact, I ordered this machine in the do-it-yourself configuration and the final assembly took me about 10 to 15 minutes. Everything here, from the mainboard to the RAM, display, keyboard, you name it, is completely user upgradable and repairable. Sure, it is not old, it's completely new and it's blazing fast, but it ticks many other boxes for me that scream retro. Something that, for example, a completely new 14-inch MacBook Pro does not, because it is absolutely not user repairable and upgradable. Let me explain. Hardware fails over time. That's a fact and no secret at all. We see this a lot in old Commodore machines. And when your 14-inch MacBook Pro fails, it means in most cases either AppleCare or e-waste. I think the chance that actual MacBook Pros will become retro machines is relatively small. Not because they're bad machines, but because there won't be hardly any around by, let's say, 2045. This is one of the few examples where retro starts actually, in my opinion at least, today. And it would be really cool if more products like this would be available for the end user. I think in the terms of retro computing, there exist many kinds of retro. Some link retro to nostalgic feelings or define it by age or rarity. And some, like I do, define it, among other things, by repairability and upgradability. Maybe retro computing can't be defined exactly, but it is maybe something you smell, you feel, or a way of living. Isn't that nice? There is some kind of retro for everyone. Back to the start. Is my new framework laptop a retro computer? In my opinion it is, but perhaps we can discuss this topic again, let's say in 20 years from now? Do you have a different opinion, or what means retro for you? Let me know. That wraps today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and as always,